just in case.
I'll wait till it pop up right there. Is it on there? Oh. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, and Vimo.
Vimo.
What's going on? Welcome to the Dr. Sam Show. I'm your host, Dr. Sam. We got a great show for you today. We talk about don't quit. I'm going to be talking about don't quit, why not to quit, and plus when you should quit something and move and pivot. But we got a great show for you today. We're going to do Dr. Sam's Secret Garden Tip of the Week. I got Marco up at the top of the 12:05 hour. And my guest today, Ms. Fernell Williams. We're going to be talking about her book, Chosen by God. And I got a couple of little small things in the news, and we're going to be moving right forward. Today's Dr. Sam Show is sponsored by Little Generations Daycare and McDonald's, TLC Design, and Toledo Free News today. And look out, coming up next year is Sambition 2020, Max Life. And also, if you'd like to partner with us and advertise, we opening up the doors now to sponsorships. I like to call them partners because we more like family here. The number is 419-972-1SAM. And we got all different types of great packages for you to be connected and partner with the Dr. Sam Show. We about to go live on the air, 100.7 here, FM Cumulus Radio in a minute here. And I'm ready. I think I'm ready. I'm ready. I said I'm ready. I'm ready.
Let's do this.
Let's do this.
Sam Millett is enriching people's lives one at a time. Dr. Sam is ready to help you gain perspective on life, relationships, finances,
Okay, I'll give you,
and
what,
so
1
much
minute?
more.
Yeah.
Go to the Dr. Sam
All right.
Show.
AD, this is her
Brought
out
to you by
here.
McDonald's.
Okay,
I think
Empowering
in the
purpose
black
for
car.
life.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing
I
drinks
look
with
like
some
a
friends.
white guy
Start
with
off
a
pitcher
black
for the
woman's
table,
face.
which quickly becomes two. There's pool, and there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese.
Yeah, man, would have been
Naturally
out
by
the car
order
by
of
now.
winners.
How much time I got, Ryan?
35 seconds.
All right.
Then there's the ceremony.
I'll go look. Let me
So what are
pull
we
this
doing
over
this
quick.
weekend?
Yeah, that's her.
And lastly,
I'll go.
it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed,
You said one, right?
You're 20
could be
seconds
the
now.
most
Not
expensive
that. I mean,
night of
your
life.
time. At the end
Yeah,
of the
oh
show.
yeah, yeah.
For buzz driving,
Ends at 1.
could cost you around
No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
I can't believe
fees, and
that
criminal
conversation I had, and that's the only thing I forgot. And that's actually part of the reason why I was talking to him in the
because
first
buzz
place.
driving is drunk
Besides
driving.
all the other little
Brought to
stuff.
you by the National Highway
Gotcha.
Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. The following broadcast is a paid program. The hosts are solely responsible for its content, and the opinions expressed are not necessarily those of Cumulus Broadcasting.
This is the Dr. Sam Show, featuring your host, Dr. Sam, bringing you prescriptions.
Hey, watch
for
that
your
thing,
heart,
man, just in case he
relationships,
try to
money,
call
mind,
take from
and
the
soul.
door.
Now
Okay.
here's Dr. Sam.
Ready?
And I was about to say, and we're back. But yeah. Good morning, America. Good morning, world. Welcome to the Dr. Sam Show, where I'm your host, confidant, and friend, your media BFF in full effect, giving you prescriptions for your heart, relationship, money, mind, and soul. Hey, man, we got on just a tad bit late because we trying to get this technology thing down, and I think we finally got it working. Remember, I moved D to tech now. We have a little delay. All of a sudden, but I got Mr. D in the building, the engineer supernaire. Mr. Ron is in the building, and myself, and we got our guest, Miss Fernell Williams, coming in talking about Chosen by God, talking about her book, and we're going to ask her a few questions about some things. And then later on the top of the hour, I got my fitness guru expert, Mr. Marco, is in the building, telling you to get in shape before Thanksgiving, or he going to tell you how big you are. You might not need to go to Thanksgiving. But that's a whole nother, so I'll leave Marco to do that. And then I'm going to have my segment today, my topic today, talking about don't quit. We're going to be inspiring some people today. Don't quit. And also what you should quit. But when you quit, you just need to pivot, change, and move forward. So we're about to get ready for that today. That's going to be my topic today. And then towards the end of the show, I'm going to have my Dr. Sam's Secret Garden Tip of the Week. And we're going to ride from there. So we got a great show coming up for you today, man. I'm excited about some things. I'm about to take a quick commercial break so I can usher my guests in here. But before we do that, I want to tell you, you can get in contact with the Dr. Sam Show. Go to our website, www.thedrsamshow.us, because I love America. And also, you can go to Dr. Sam Show with the Facebook / and check out all the shows we have. From here all the way, I got quite a few shows on Dr. Sam, but you can go to audioboom.com / the Dr. Sam Show to go back and check out all the shows we have since March 8th of 2015. And also, if you got any questions, comments, or concerns, you can call or text me at don't text me at this particular number I'm about to tell you now. You can call and leave a comment. Actually, you can text too. I forgot I could check those out. 419-972-1726. That's one Sam. And see what's going on. I got some announcements coming up, but I'm going to wait again a week. I've said it already that I'm going to do these announcements, so I'll make them all at the same time, so I don't have to keep going back. So I'm just making sure everything is together. And we got some big announcements coming out for the Millette Media Group, which is the group I own, in the Dr. Sam Show, and all of the things that are attached to it. Hi from there.
Hi.
Today's Dr. Sam Show is brought to you by McDonald's. Tell Ronald McDonald Grimace in the hamburger I said what's up, and go support your local McDonald's. And if you see a tall white guy with a red perm, tell him I said what's up, and some red boots and an orange. Is his suit yellow? Yeah, yellow jumpsuit. Or what kind of suit is that? I don't know, but I like it. I like it. Also, the show is brought to you by Little Generations Daycare, the brilliant young minds of tomorrow. Check out Little Generations Daycare at 700 Eleanor Road, Toledo, Ohio, 43612. The number is 419-724-7902. Check them out. Also, the Toledo Free News and Sam Vision 2020 Max Life, supporting the Dr. Sam Show. And last but not least, did I say that right? Last but not least, TLC Design. Like I always say, TLC Design is what makes the Dr. Sam Show roll. And check them out. Those are our wonderful partners with the Dr. Sam Show and the Millette Media Group. Well, I'm going to take a quick commercial break. I'm going to get my guest in here, so we'll be ready to talk to her in a minute. And I'm going to make a couple of announcements when I come back, and we're going to get the show rolling. So this is the Dr. Sam Show. We'll be right back.
Is enriching people's lives one
This
at
is
a time.
odd a little bit.
Okay.
It's odd being at this mic looking that way.
Oh.
It's good though. I like the shot, but it's just odd. I'm just trying to. It's almost like I'm half.
Hi.
How are you?
What's
I'm
going
doing
on?
good.
You doing all right?
It's going.
Good. You can have a seat. You
Yeah.
ready for it?
You want 1 minute or 2?
Give me one. That's
One?
fine.
Okay. When you're talking, make sure that microphone's right at your mouth, so everybody can hear you at home.
And if you want to put the headphones on, you'll be able to hear yourself over
I
it.
can mess with my hands.
Oh,
No, I'm just fine.
you can put it at the back. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can put it at the top. Put it at the back.
Spirituality and so much more.
Yeah, like
Go
this.
to thedrsamshow.us. Brought to you by McDonald's. Empowering purpose for life.
I didn't think it was anything.
I had pain in my abdomen.
How much time you
It
have?
just
Say
wouldn't
it
go
again.
away.
Huh?
I
Say it
was
again.
fine,
How much time
but
you
I had
have?
already gone to menopause. These symptoms may be
have to be at
nothing,
church like
but
at
they could
12.
be warning signs
Oh,
of
okay.
gynecologic
So you
cancer,
okay.
cervical
All right.
cancer,
We got 11:39 now.
20 minutes, 21 then,
or all
Yeah.
gynecologic cancers, and each has different warning signs and symptoms. I had to go to the
Bishop White,
bathroom
we
more
start on
often
time.
than usual.
Mhm.
The Bishop White started on time.
Feeling bloated.
No, I go to Dr. Nadine Larday. She said hi
And my
too.
periods lasted
Who's
longer
that?
and were heavier
Dr.
than
Nadine
what was
Larday.
normal for me.
That name, I know that name.
I know you do.
Do I?
She grew up in St.
Signs are not the
James.
same for everyone.
Oh, I gotta know her then.
Mhm. I'll show you a picture.
Oh, okay.
Ask about gynecologic cancer.
Tell her I said hi right back.
I
You told
will.
you was coming over here?
Yeah, I did. We right down the street on the
Yeah.
airport.
Seeing my doctor probably saved my life.
A message from the Inside Knowledge Campaign and the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Wait a minute, I said yeah, and I didn't even know who your pastor was 2 seconds ago. See that daggone cliche stuff we do?
Okay, let's see.
Don't go to bed. Yeah, they were doing the Entertainment Tonight was doing a thing about Robert Stack
Oh, I see that.
Yeah. And it's
Robert
finally-
Blake.
Robert Blake.
Yeah,
and I
yeah, I
finally
see that.
saw they showed the opening. I'm going, oh,
Yeah, that's it.
that show. Okay.
Facebook, all you social media platforms. This is, of course, Sammy Davis Jr. singing the theme song to Beretta. Of course, y'all know I love it. All right, I'm ready. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, we got to wait till you sing it.
Gotta wait for the chorus.
Don't do it. You heard what the man
do
said. Don't do the crime if you can't pay the time. No, don't. Yeah, that's right. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Some of y'all doing time right now for some crimes you committed just when you got out the bed this morning. Some of them thoughts you had. You was in prison, all right, out the bed. I'm not going to talk about that on this show. We going to talk about that on another show. Well, for those of you just tuning in, welcome to the Dr. Sam Show. I'm your host, confidant and friend, your media BFF in full effect, giving you prescriptions for your heart, relationship, mind, and soul. We want to welcome you in to those that listen to 100 by Live Radio. We are on Live Radio, 100.7 FM in Cumulus radio station, and we are multi-plat streaming according to D, unless he lying to me. We are multi-platforms at the moment. I got Mr. D in the house by Super Nair. I don't know if that's in the dictionary, but that's a word I created last week. If it's not in the dictionary, around it are Super Nair, extraordinaire, DJ engineer in the building. Mr. D had the extraordinary, so I can't get around, so I had to make up a Super Nair. And I just want to say also on behalf of all the ladies in the world, Mr. D wanted me to tell y'all hi. Not you, Tyree. Today's subject, man, I'm talking about is Don't Quit. I got a special guest in the house, which I'm about to bring on in 2 seconds. Miss Vanell Williams with the phenomenal book Chosen by God, which she make me have to buy a few of them, but I told her just give me a couple of days and I'll pay her probably Cash App or something. And but I want to make this announcement real quick. For those of you that didn't know, Congressman Elijah Cummings, I'm quite sure most of y'all passed away, congressman over the state of Maryland district, a huge opponent of civil rights. He's been a long time. He's been in Congress for years. I forgot exactly how many years, but I think he did. I want to say he did like 4 or 5 terms. I want to say that, but I'm not sure. I forgot to bring that number to look it up. And so, but we want to honor him. He was only 68 years old, man. He was young, you know. So we want to honor him today, and in respect and honor to him, we dedicating this show to him and all the work that he has done for this country. We want to honor Elijah Cummings today, and we appreciate the work he did. So that's out from the Dr. Sam Show, and we wanted to honor that. Well, since we was dragging time a little bit because of technology, I'm going to get Miss Vanell in because she told me she got to be out here at 12 because she got to go to church.
Yes.
And her pastor is listening just in case she late. You know, make sure you pay your tithes.
Right.
Vanell, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
And for those of you the first time meeting her, you know, social media radio, this is your third time here. Yeah,
yes.
Third time. This is always for an event.
Always.
Now this is just for you today, which that's
Yes.
good. And how are you today?
I'm well.
Good,
Feeling good.
We're here to talk about your phenomenal book, the one which I'm on the hook for a couple of them.
Yes. Praise the Lord.
Tell us, first of all, tell us about the book and then tell us what made you want to write it.
Okay, so the book is Chosen by God, Learning Your Identity and Position in Life. And truthfully, I had a life change and transformation, and it's continual. But that is basically the reason why I have to give all glory and praise to God, to the Holy Spirit, because it wasn't just me, but because of some things that was going on in my life. There's a book to talk about it.
Now we know we can't give out all the stuff in the books. We'll just talk about excerpts. You know how cheap people is. They'll want to, you know.
Right,
well, I ain't got to read
now.
it now, you know.
No,
I ain't
you
got to
gotta
buy
read
it now, but you know, you got to buy her book. And matter of fact, let me say, cause I need to say that at least 2 or 3 times. Where can they get this book from?
You can get the book from Amazon, Barnes and Noble, me in person if you know me, And then also eventually it will be on my website. So just have a look out for my website this month. Very soon. Very, very soon.
Are you getting the website together?
Yes,
in development?
it is almost there.
Okay, all right. Now, most of the time, when people write books, it's a process that they go through. And one thing I want to mention that because a lot of people like to write about their story or something that happened to it. What was your process with this book? What you had a life-changing event.
Definitely.
But what was your process? What made, I mean, everybody have life-changing event, but what made you sit down and say, I want to write about it?
Well, years ago, I always said I want to be a writer. And one lady, I think it was maybe when I was in my master's at UT for social work, she said, oh, you want to be a writer? I said, yeah. She said, so why aren't you writing?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that makes sense. So I started writing every day, and it was just writing. It wasn't anything specific, just to get into that mode. But anyway, in November of 2017, that is kind of when my life, I wouldn't say it turned upside down, but it turned right side up. And at that time, I still had the writing going on, but it wasn't necessarily to like write a book. But in November of 2018, so it was like a year after just realizing some things that I had gone through, getting some self-help, going to counseling, getting back my relationship with God, I sat down and it was like this idea came, and it didn't come out of nowhere. That was the Holy Spirit. The idea came to start writing about identity and transformation and purpose, because that is exactly what I was going through in my life. So I just started writing. One day in November 2018, I wrote my whole manuscript in about 6-7 hours. And that that was inspired. So actually that same day I wrote my manuscript, I was watching a Facebook video. And it was Sophia Ruffin and Tiffany Montgomery. They're just individuals that I follow who are in Christ, have their own businesses, and they were talking about how she wrote her manuscript in 6 hours. And through this kind of broadcast on Facebook, I just started feeling heat in my hands, so I started typing, to be honest. And that's really how it started.
Oh, okay. Man, that's phenomenal. 6 hours?
6 hours.
That take me about 6 hours to eat a meal. I mean, in between, 2 or 3 meals in there.
Yeah. It's kind of like an unedited video. You know,
unedited
how you have
video.
to, you record, but then you got to edit it. I didn't edit it. It was just that raw writing that I had did. So that was the manuscript.
Give us a couple of excerpts out of that book that really will make people want to check out what you're doing and how, and connect to the story.
Definitely. So the 3 main points are identity, transformation, and purpose. When I talk about identity, the reason why the name is not finding your identity, it's learning your identity, which means your identity is already in you. Life happens to us and people treat us bad, or we go through traumatic experiences, etc. And it kind of puts, I would just say, dirt on your identity to where you don't see who you actually are. So your identity is already there. It's just uncovering it and seeing it, especially for me in Christ. So of course this book is very spiritual because that's my life and my perspective and how my life has changed. The other part in regard to transformation is that in order to get to your true identity, you have to be transformed. Most things we do are normal. That's routine and pattern, etc. But what happens is that when you realize your normal is not necessarily right, and new is not necessarily wrong, you realize just because I've been doing it doesn't mean it's right for me. So now I have to look inside and see, okay, who do I need to forgive? Where do I need to let bitterness go? Where do I need to let victimhood go? Or, whatever you have been through. So that transformation is really internal, and then it shows on the outside. And then purpose is when you finally know who you are, and when you know whose you are, now you know what you can do.
I agree with that. That's good. That's definitely good.
So those are like the 3 main topics in the book, especially bringing, of course, scripture, and then also reflective prompts. Actually having you do some work. When you read it, I'm not just a reader. I like reading and then applying what I have now. It's a new form of knowledge, or knowledge that I have gained. So I want to apply that. So in the book, there are like journal prompts so that you can actually write down who you need to forgive and start the work.
Did you have a long list?
Yes. I
Like,
did.
Like a truckload list. Like
I mean, it was heavy enough. It included a lot of people, family, friends, strangers, people who came across in my life. Some things I didn't even know I needed to let go. But through the process of transformation, a lot of things come to surface so that you can address it.
Yeah, you're right, because one of the toughest things to do is self-examination on any level.
Oh, yes.
Because in order to really do that, you have to be honest with yourself, and that's not easy for us
Right.
to do. And I, on this show, many times I quoted Dr. Carnell West. He said it's easier to go to the front line of a battle than to dig in the abyss of one's own soul.
Definitely.
In the digging your soul, you got to look at yourself in your own eyes.
Definitely.
And that mirror is a reflection. I always say God and the mirror are the two entities that always tell you the truth no matter what.
Right. Right.
So,
for real.
and you can't really avoid either.
None.
You know, so I get what you're saying and stuff. So the book is about, so the book, you would define the book as around those three things, about identity. What's the other two you
Transformation.
said? Transformation and purpose. Let's go about transformation. What kind of transformation did you go through?
Oh my Lord.
Oh, and before you say
Yeah.
that, you might want to tell your pastor you're probably gonna be 10 minutes late. To
Okay.
church. Just go on and tell where you can look in the camera to go out there.
Yes, Pastor Nadine Larday of Kingdom Inheritance at 2857 Airport Highway. I might be a little late.
You're gonna be a little late, Pastor. It's all right. Just take the message.
It's a good talk, though.
It's good.
I'm in a good place.
That's why I'm telling you now to tell her.
Yes.
Just go on and get it out. She'll be good. She gonna see this.
Yes.
Go ahead. I'm saying the transformation part
Yeah.
of what you was learning. Where am I here?
So I'll give a little sneak peek of the book, right? Because the book is a resource. And
You
yes,
gonna
of
read out the
course-
book?
Well, yes.
Yeah, that's good. I
And
want
of-
you to do that.
And of course, I want you all to. I'm gonna take these off.
That's fine.
Okay, as long as you can hear me, we good. Okay. So in regard to transformation, I'm young and I haven't lived a long time. However, when I was younger, and I think as we are raised, we look at the external, or we look at how other people can help us, or how other resources can help us. And that's not a bad thing, but we're not ever told, just look within for the answers, address some things yourself. So for me, the transformation really took place internally and with Christ. So I'm going to give you the countdown for transformation. And again, this is an internal work. Some things are done simultaneously, but really if your mind is not right, if your heart is not postured right, then a lot of things that you're wanting to change probably won't change. So the countdown for transformation, there are 8. It's kind of in order that I went through, but it could look different for everybody, just because everybody has their own path. But number 1 is repentance. So that's sincere regret or remorse for the wrong one has done. Even though for me, my childhood dealt with a lot of trauma. It dealt with sexual trauma. It dealt with emotional trauma. It dealt with violation. And as I grew older, that became my norm. So with that becoming my norm, I eventually did choose to do some things or stay in some patterns that were not healthy for me. So I had to repent for that. Yes, I can blame other people, but ultimately it does come down to me, because this is my life and who I am. The second one is deliverance, being rescued or set free. So I ultimately had to make up in my mind and know I couldn't do it myself, but I needed to be delivered from certain patterns, certain people, certain situations, certain circumstances. Then there's forgiveness, healing, renewal, reconciliation, which is to be restored in Christ, transformation, and purpose. So that's kind of that transformative process. So for me, life was living me instead of me living life intentionally. So I went through my master's, well actually I got my associates, my bachelor's and master's in social work during this time of trauma. I received my license, so I'm a licensed social worker. I had a 4.0 all throughout college while going through this trauma. Wow. I was involved in church, of course. I volunteered for the Human Trafficking Coalition. I volunteered for the Trauma Informed Care Coalition. I was doing a lot, even while going through this process. So a lot of people might have looked at me from the outside and said, Fennell, you are doing wonderful. Like, you got everything, right?
Yeah.
Which is cool externally, but internally I was dying. internally I had a lot of turmoil. So for me, that transformation definitely had to begin on the inside. I'm a social worker, or let me say my degree is in social work. So with that, I'm one who preaches, go to counseling, get help, anything you need to address, go get a counselor, do this, do that. All the while I was saying that,
You wasn't doing
I wasn't doing it. So what happens with transformation is now you not only speak something, but you speak and live it.
And that's good. One of the things you said, I think, is paramount, and you said it in a different way, with which I want you to elaborate a little bit. That life was living you. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Definitely. So the circumstances and situations that was happening in my life, because of not knowing who I was, because of not knowing my position, and because of not knowing my purpose, ultimately, I allowed those things to influence me instead of me influencing them. Now, as a child, we really don't have choice. We have people over us who are responsible for us, and hopefully they protect us, etc., love us, show us the way. Most don't know the way either. So, which is, hey, you love people where you love people where they are. But as a child, we really don't have those choices. As we get older, I believe that God, the Holy Spirit, I believe that He brings people into our path to show us something different. And with that different things that came in my path allowed me to see something different, and then ultimately I had to think about it. So when I became an adult, that's when it's like, okay, you have choice now. You have choice. So now it's time for you to stop blaming everybody. Yes, a lot of bad things happen to you. I don't look like what I've been through, and a lot of people don't look like what they've been through. So why not try something different instead of doing the same thing, getting the same result, which a lot of people call insanity.
Yep, and it's an old saying, insanity. That's a whole show in itself, insanity. And there's a saying that, you know, when you're young, you love people, and when you get older, you judge them. You know, because you're old enough to separate, everything that went through and ready. And what's the word I'm looking for? You're at a point in your life where you can engage in thought. Right. And have, know the difference between right and wrong, so you process everything. Right. You back up to come all the way up to where you are now, depending on what age you are, and you assess people for what and how they treated you. So this part of this seems like the same thing. It's basically assessment of how, what you went through, the people around you, the things that you did, the things you could change, the things you cannot change. Right. But you accept them and move on. Right. Which that's easier said than done. Because if I walk past you every day and I want to punch you in the face, but I don't. Right. I'm accepting. Yeah, that's an everyday choice. It might come up 10 years and I might punch you in the face, but as of today, I'm not punching you in the face. I might later on, but I'm not and stuff. And I love the way that you process the book, because it's a easy read. Of course, when I picked the book up, I looked through it. I read it through. I looked through it. And when we met at the Ready Set Aim thing, yes. And I watched it. I like easy, quick reads and see if people can adapt the content to their thinking or get to understanding. Right. I think that book is well written with that in mind. So let me do this, because I told you you probably about 7 minutes, because I don't want your pastor to come down here and get Ron if he didn't get you on time. So what do you want people to get out of the book, them personally?
I want them to understand that life is life. We all go through things, but get to a point where you can take responsibility and understand that you are not a victim. Understand that your test should turn into your testimony. Understand that it is possible for change, and your life doesn't have to look the way that it looks now, especially if it don't look that good.
If most people could get that, simply what you just said, most of the world would change overnight. Yeah. Because one of the biggest things, people don't want to accept responsibility for their own stuff. It's just hard for us to do. Because again, you got to look in the mirror to do that, and people don't like that pain that comes with self-examination. But you need that to go into greatness, because that pain you went through, when you look in your own eyes as a reflection of what's happening in you or outside of you, is going to take you to greatness, because you have to pass through pain to go become great, or to be great in a sense. Any great that could be held down, that has a foundation, is going to have to go through pain. So when book comes out of pain, and it's only certain brands of pains I like. You know, there's different brands of pain. You know, like say, you know, I'm saying this because I noticed, like in a lot of gospel music, you know, all the songs used to be about pain.
Right.
I can't do all the pain. I gotta pick a pain.
Yeah.
I gotta pick a pain.
The
We can
different
say, but
levels.
every song can't
Right.
be about devastation, how I got over. I'm down and out. I can't do it. I got the blues for that. If I really don't look at that, and even they don't sing about it like that. They sing about situations. My dog is gone. My wife left me with my best friend, but I didn't like him or her anyway. Right. So, but I'm glad. So you picking, and I know this crowd sound like a crazy sound. The pain that you picked that dealt with from your own life, I think is crucial because of what you just said.
Right.
A lot of that stuff of dealing with ourselves to come on top is not easy for everybody. And I want to say this person, like when you do go through the process that's even close to what Fennell went through, one of the most important things you have to do is take it one day at a time.
Definitely.
Because you can't take it no more than that anyway.
Right.
And process every day. I used to do this for years. I don't do it as much no more. What went right? What went bad? What could I have changed? What could I let go? Every day. And I think that's part of what you was doing, except you did it all in 6 hours.
And you know, sometimes you got to break it down even more, moment by moment.
Yep. So one last encouraging word, and I'm going to let the pastor get there. Tell her anytime she won't come through and we talk about something, you tell her she got my invitation on the table.
I will.
Tell
Can
her-
I talk
tell
about
her-
my event really quick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Talk about the event.
So
Yeah,
this
that's
is
what
where
we
you'll
skip.
get-
Besides the book and the event, go ahead.
I was gonna say you can get more encouraging words as.
Yeah, go ahead, boy, and then mention how we get the book again.
Definitely. So the event that I'm hosting it's not just a book signing. I think that's pretty clear, right?
Yeah.
It's not just
I
a
got
book
it.
signing.
That's not saying much, but I got it.
Right. So it'll be Saturday, November 2nd. It'll be at my home church, Kingdom Inheritance, where my pastor is Dr. Nadine Larday. And it's at 2857 Airport Highway in Toledo. The doors open at 5:30 and the program starts at 6. So the first part will include a live interview with me, question and answers, and a reading from the book. And I don't know how intimate we will get, but it's going to be an intimate setting. And you can ask me anything about the book, about me, and about the process of the book, because I'm not going to give it all to you right now. And then the second part.
I'd stop you, have Ron cut you right off if you did.
Right. And then the second part is a reception and a book signing. Pictures will be taken, food, and all that good jazz. So that there is a entry fee. So entry only is $15. That was kind of made in mind for people who may already have the book. And then also pre-ordering your book with entry is $30. So those are the two things. You can find that on Eventbrite at chosenbygod.eventbrite.com. And then you can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram. It's Fennell Elaine. So that's FANELL space ELANE. Again, you can get the book on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, in person by me if you know me, or reach out to me by Messenger. And then eventually my website, which it will be live very soon. So
I got one more question, then
Yes.
we're going to let you go. I'm going to go to commercial. Is it on audiobook yet?
not yet.
Okay, all right.
But soon, hopefully. We got things in the making.
All right, and you can read it, or, you know, I don't know if you're one of them people afraid to read through your own stuff. Somebody always, they either read it or they have somebody else do it.
Right. No, I would want to read it.
All right, and make sure you give me the information. I'll announce it again next week.
Okay.
I got the great Miss Ramona Collins coming
Yes,
up.
I love
do
her.
that. But this Miss Fennell Williams, ladies and gentlemen, give her a hand clap. You know, clap like that. Boy, them some weak hand claps. But we about to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I got our fitness and nutrition guru in the building, Mr. Marco, will be coming on the segment and tell you why you shouldn't probably not overeat for Thanksgiving, or, well, overeat, because that's better for his business.
True.
So you might want to overeat. My bad, overeat. We'll be right back. This is the Dr. Sam Show.
Is enriching
That was
people's
good.
lives. Dr. Sam guides you
Oh,
relationships,
Yeah,
finances,
just well, I already have it in my phone, but just text me next week just to make sure I don't forget. And I'll do the
Okay.
keep announcing.
Appreciate
So we'll do
it.
that.
on life,
Since,
relationships, finances, spirituality, and much more. Tune in 100.7 every Sunday from 11 to 1.
Oh,
Brought to you
I
by
just had a
McDonald's,
picture of-
empowering purpose
I
for
don't know where
life.
she at.
Dr. Sam Millett is enriching people's lives
the
one at a
pastor.
time.
Yeah,
Dr.
I
Sam
just
is ready
had
to
it,
help
but
you
I might
gain
not be able to
perspective
find
on life, relationships, finances, spirituality, and so much more.
Was
Go
D
to
here the last time you was here?
drsamshow.us.
Uh-huh.
Brought to
Oh,
you
he
by
was here.
McDonald's.
Oh,
I think
okay.
so. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Talked to him.
It's hard for him to remember 100.
Well, I gave you 3 minutes so you can reset.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think Marco was looking through that door.
I think so too.
I can feel somebody looking through the door.
Felt a disturbance in the folds.
Yeah, it's just that's what it is. All right,
Ready? Thank
got
you.
the front of my hair.
Thank you. Hi, how are you? You too for now. Nice to meet you. You too.
All right, I talked to you. Tell the pastor I said hello. You come on in, Marco.
Marco, come on in.
You said what?
He talked.
He said everybody's
I'm gonna let
over.
him be in that chair for just 1 second.
See you later.
That's what I tend to do with my clients. I give pizza when they leave, so they work out and then they keep that weight and then keep coming back.
See you later.
Marco, how you doing?
You can use that mic.
right.
Yeah, understand.
How's the gang?
What's going on, Marco?
What are you doing back there? How come you're
Uh,
not in charge?
He on tech now.
Laptop.
Oh, you're techie.
We multi-streaming now. So he on tech.
He's
Oh,
got
you
the
clean
important
yourself.
job.
You look good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm starting clinicals at Toledo Hospital, so
Oh, so you had to.
it's not like working back in the machine
It looks
shop.
good this way.
Thank you.
I've got nephews.
I was hoping they'd shave a little bit more off of this. Now it looks like I got the chipmunk face.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
You look better without. My nephews, you know, they go through that stage, you know, where it's all the hair and the long and the whole shot, and then they all of a sudden get to a certain age, all of a sudden they go and chop it off, and you're like, crap, you look great.
To learn more about
That
Child
clean-
Fund International
clean
and
look.
its Dream Bike
Yeah.
So you look
program,
sharp.
please visit
Thank you.
childfund.org. That's
Yeah.
childfund.org.
I call it corporate camouflage. It's the
Corporate.
truth.
In other words, this is not me.
Yeah.
I would rather
I've
be.
seen that done before.
Yeah.
I've seen that done.
I was talking to my best
Yeah.
friend.
All right,
I told her
we
I
gonna
wasn't
rock and
feeling well
roll.
myself. I had pain in my
Well.
pelvic area and bleeding that wasn't normal.
Where's
for
the
me.
camera?
Since it had gone on for a couple of
Oh,
weeks,
okay.
my friend said
You can't- I can't
had
even
to
see if
go to
I'm
the
on.
doctor.
They can see you.
Of course, she was right. It
So I
turned
better
out
not
I
pick my
had
nose or
uterine cancer,
No.
a type of gynecologic
You
cancer.
can, just
To
not
make a long
here.
story short,
You can pick your friends, you can pick your nose, but you
Yeah,
can't pick
they
your
do
friend's
it
nose.
I received
Like,
That's
what's
cute.
his name?
That's
Deputy
good.
Dog. Say, don't go away, Mad Muskie, just go away.
That's good. Hey, this holds in place. This is great.
Finally.
Wow.
It took a
Someone
while.
took a little
But they,
screwdriver.
actually, they've been like that. You just ain't never had to use it.
Oh, this one here?
Yeah, this one is good. It's actually the mics is what's good. That's what.
Yeah, these are new mics, aren't they?
Yeah, they've been here.
Sure.
It's the legendary Jason.
But this holds in place now?
Yeah, it's
not
this
so
one
much.
that messes up.
That one likes to go back all the way. Unless
Yeah.
you're sitting down, then it'll
Right.
stay in place. It's just, I don't like these.
This one sometimes it sling back versus it's supposed to do like that.
Some of it, I think it's just tightening up some of it.
Yeah.
I'll bet it's simple.
Like a lot of people around here got a lot of loose screws. Boomps.
Can't do the time. Oh.
Don't do it.
And we're back. For those of you that tune in, this is the Dr. Sam Show. I'm your host, confidant and friend, your media BFF in full effect, Dr. Sam. And we just had the wonderful Miss Fennell Williams with her book, Chosen by God, man. And she gave us a lot of great things on how to go from identifying what needs to be taken care of or dealt with from the inside out. And you need to get her book. It's on Amazon.com, or you can get it to her in person. If you get it from her in person, she won't cash, no checks. just cashed. And so we appreciate coming in here. And Fernell has been here the third time. She came here to eat for a great event, and she having a book signing. What she said, not more than it's just not a book signing.
Yes.
Coming up in 2 weeks, and I'll announce it next week. For it's coming up in 2 weeks, and because if I tell you now where, she just announced where it was at. I didn't write that down, but she gonna send me that info, so I don't forget, and I'll announce it.
I just remember the church is on Airport
the
Island.
church, Pastor Nadine.
Yeah.
He's at her church. I'll tell Pastor Nadine when she come in to bring us something to eat. You know, we might be hungry. But speaking of food and eating too much, eating less, our fitness man.
There's only guilt when I'm in the room.
Yeah,
Only when I'm in the room.
I feel done. Mr. Marco is in the building. How you doing today, sir?
Awesome. I'm loving this weather. This in between cool weather.
Yeah,
I haven't
yeah.
had to turn the heat on yet. If I close my windows, it's just the right temperature if it's too cold. But if I on some of these nights, I've been leaving the windows open. It's just beautiful.
My heat on auto. You get under 70, you knows what to do.
I'm a furnace.
I can't.
I'm a furnace.
Yeah, I can't. Mm-mm.
Even in the middle of winter, all I have is a sheet and a bedspread.
Mm-mm.
I nothing
can't-
more. I get hot.
I can't do that. That's not the Lord.
I'm
I
hot.
can't do that.
I'm hot all the time.
Man.
It's probably, I'm assuming it's my metabolism, the training, all that.
Yeah,
I-
I'm probably about 100%
I eat
sure
large
of
amounts
that.
of food every
Yeah.
day. I'm a furnace, and so when I go to bed at night, like at first I'll lay down, I'll feel that little chill because the sheets are cold and everything, and it feels great. Next thing you know, I'm like, oh my God, I got to peel back the bedspread, and a sheet's usually good enough.
Did you have something that you wanted to do today? Because I actually have a question about that very thing. I was having a conversation with somebody about, and I wanted to mention it. Like you mention it while we were here talking about how to speed up your metabolism to burn fat faster. And a lot of people don't really realize that's really what you have to do, especially when you eat more food. But it's the foods that you're eating combined together. And you can tell me if I'm wrong. That helps burn up food. Yeah.
You want that on the question for today?
Yeah, if that's okay with you.
Yeah. Unless you wanted to save it after, I didn't know. Okay.
No.
All right.
With it.
Yeah. There's a two-edge to that, what you just said. So, believe it or not, they're two separate questions. One is how can I raise my metabolism, and the other one is how can I burn fat.
Right.
But you blended the two together, saying a higher metabolism, and then you said certain foods, and then you made it as though those two things burn fat. And that's misinformation. We get misled, and then we repeat this stuff. So we hear it from a lot of other people, and we assume it must be correct. I'll start with the simplest one first, and that is food does not burn fat. A certain type of food does not burn fat. There isn't anything you consume it, and it burns fat because it is dead.
Right.
A plant is dead. These things are not active molecules that are chewing on and macerating and metabolizing the fat. So you don't eat a food and the food burns your fat. Your fat's stored in your cells because you've been overeating calories. So all food digests and turns into its simplest energy form, which is sugar. So if you eat too much protein, too much fat, too much carb, if you're eating big meals, even if they're healthy food, if you're overeating what your body can metabolize at any given moment, so when you sit down to eat dinner, if you're eating a pile of food that's called healthy, it could be...
It's called healthy.
Well, it's labeled as healthy, so it's good for you, right? But if you overconsume it, your body can't even digest that much food at one time. It can't process that many calories at one moment. So any excess that you're consuming at that moment, that is your metabolic rate. Your metabolic rate isn't the beautiful number we get told that it is total for the whole day. The metabolic rate is what is my rate at this moment. And then there is a total by the end of the day.
Right.
But at this moment, when I'm shoving food in my mouth, it could be healthy food, and you're overeating it, and then that excess calorie stores as a fat. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So eating healthy doesn't make us lose weight. The mistake is that when people go from junk food eating to eating, as they'll say, all I did was start eating clean, fresh food. I didn't cut calories at all. Well, what they don't know, because they never bothered to look it up, is when you go from junk food to healthy food, it's massive calories and very little calories. So you've gone from massively overeating to massively undereating, and the person doesn't realize what they've just done.
Right.
They've technically just gone on either a crash diet or a very low-calorie diet or whatever, and they didn't know it. They did it accidentally. They thought that because I was eating a piece of fish with some broccoli, that was healthy. And it's like, well, yeah, but you're starving. You're crash dieting, you see? So it's not the food that made the person lose weight. It was suddenly going to calorie deficit, which makes you lose fat and muscle. So you lose weight eating clean, fresh food only because you went from overeating your metabolic rate to undereating your metabolic rate, okay? The second part of that is metabolism, and how do I raise my energy? How do I raise my metabolic rate? So one of the simplest things that I do is a neat little trick, without saying without saying the details of how I designed it and all, was when I came up with a program I called Jumpstart. And it's interesting because there's a famous weight loss center that made up theirs called Jumpstart years after I had mine. And I'm like, oh my God, if I could only sue them for that.
You can.
Well,
another show.
Possible. Yeah. So the idea is that if you start eating every 2 hours, as an example, you start eating a small portion all the time throughout the day. Every 2 hours, have a small little meal, okay? And you keep doing this every day until the body starts getting used to it. In other words, it'll start to react by thinking, oh, this is normal, this is ongoing, this is unusual. This person is now eating the way the body functions, which is taking in calories at small amounts throughout the day. If you start eating high frequency, it'll start to raise its own metabolic rate to process the food faster and more efficiently. So eating high frequency throughout the day actually raises your metabolism. That doesn't mean overeat at every chance you get. It doesn't mean eat high calorie donut every chance you get. But you do want to eat frequently, and if you could, best is to have a little protein and a little carb with vitamins and minerals, something nutrient rich. But eat these smaller portions, but frequently throughout the day, and your metabolism will go up, your energy will go up, you'll start digesting food faster and processing faster. The digestive system, everything will start to move a lot more efficiently. So then the next step is muscle is the most metabolic mass on the body. Muscle burns the most amount of it needs the most amount of calories per pound. So the more muscle you have, the more energy you need. You need to consume energy. Calories is a measurement of energy. Calorie is actually an abbreviation of kilocalorie, which is a measurement of energy. I usually don't talk about the science part of it when I talk about fitness because the general public, doesn't know. The masses don't know that. So, but a measurement of energy. So if you're creating demand for more energy, then you should be consuming more energy to sustain it. So as you keep getting in better shape and you're building more muscle, you need to also keep those calories increasing a little bit at a time so that you can keep growing more muscle, and then your metabolism's even higher because you have even more muscle. Your calories have to go up. You're eating frequently throughout the day. These are ways of raising your metabolism. Probably the simplest shortcut way is cardio. Cardiovascular exercise you don't have to be anaerobic. That's another topic, but anaerobic and aerobic, you don't have to go anaerobic to do that. But if you're doing cardiovascular exercise every day, if you did 30 minutes every day and slowly challenge yourself a little bit more every day as you keep getting in better shape week to week, this will help increase your metabolism a little bit as well. It gives you more energy. If you start it first thing in the morning, it gives you more energy throughout the day. You feel, actually, every single client has always said that when they start their morning with cardio, the rest of the day feels so much better. There's a sense of peace or well-being or something. I've always said it's a sense of accomplishment. If you do it first thing in the morning, there's a sense of I feel good that I've done something good for me. There's a sense that I've gotten that done and out of the way. Nothing that happens the rest of the day gets in the way of what I wanted to do. So first thing in the morning, get up and do cardio, even if it's only 30 minutes, for just energy, for feeling better, for getting your metabolism stimulated. And then eat little tiny meals all throughout the day this will raise your metabolism. Weight training and building more muscle raises your metabolism a whole lot more. That's over time.
Right.
So like my calories are just under 4,000 calories a day right now. When I'm trying to just bulk, of course mine go up. But for the general public, that's a lot of calories. So, what?
Oh, I was just saying we had 1 minute left.
Oh, is that what that
Make
was?
sure you get your information in, or where they can find you.
Oh, yeah.
I'll let you keep going. I want you to
No, but
explain
that
that.
I've covered.
I
that.
want
I
you
think
to
so.
explain that.
Did
So that's good.
Did that?
That
answer your
covered
question?
That. Yeah.
Did that dispel a couple of the myths?
Yeah, because I was just having this conversation with people, and I kind of want to go in. I couldn't go in detail on it, but I thought it was very interesting because when people trying to burn the speed about the metabolism, a lot of people don't understand exactly how that works. So I want you to explain it.
Yeah, and I could get more in detail on certain more specific stuff later, but this was more, trying to cover those three topics.
You did a great job. Now tell them how they get to you.
All right, so I design programs that are personalized for whatever your personal need is. So if you're a diabetic type 1 or type 2, I have diabetic programs I developed. Type 2s, I can get you off all your meds within 5 weeks. Type 1s, I can get up to 80%. We've just had a recent guy I had 80% medication reduction, and he's a type 1. So he's down to only 20% of what he was taking before. And his physicians that he works with didn't show him how to do this. The Diabetes Association doesn't tell you how to do this stuff. I have structured, personalized programs that are very polished and work very well. I have weight loss plans. I have fat burning, cardio-based fat loss systems, fitness-based. I have bodybuilding contest prep programs. I have just personalized nutrition plans. If you only wanted a personalized nutrition program dialed in for you and based on your metabolic rate. And I also have athlete programs. So if you have a child or you are an athlete and you're wanting to see better performance, conditioning for your sport, let me know. Go to my website. It's www.goalfitnessbymarco.com. Goal, G-O-A-L. A lot of times when I say goal, people think I'm saying gold.
Oh.
Like Gold's Gym. I say Goal Fitness, and they go, Gold's Gym? No, Goal Fitness. Okay, so G-O-A-L, goalfitnessbymarco.com. And you can look at the different packages and read up on some of those packages. There are 1 or 2 of them that I haven't got enough content in on those, but you can always ask me questions, write to me through the contact page on that website, and I'll get back with you and let you know all the details. If you're local, you come in and get a better personalized system. If you're out of the area and you just want to order it, I do personalize it, and we do live video and things like that for teaching, and you get all the same material. So.
All right, cool. So gold,
No!
GOLAL.com.
Yeah, gold.
That's not it?
You sounded like you said
no.
duh.
I said gold. That's why I spelled it. .com. You can check out Marco. We appreciate you, man. I wanted to get that info out there today. I appreciate
Thank you, sir.
being patient with me. We about to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I'm going to get in my topic today talking about don't quit. And I'm going to explain to you why some things you should quit and pivot and change and move. This is the Dr. Sam Show. We'll be right back. No, I wanted your court. Normally I'd just sliced you off, but I wanted you to explain that. Because a lot of people get that thing. I've never heard nobody explain it, how food, workout, metabolism actually work. So I did want you to explain that today. So that was good. That was definitely good.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. How about that?
It's
busy, but that's my life.
Yeah.
So
What they used to say, busy bee.
Yeah, don't be busy for no reason. That's why I said if I'm be busy, it's because I'm progressing.
How's your better half? I miss her.
She doing pretty
How
good.
come I never see her?
Because we got kids we adopted now.
Oh, so you love drama and trouble and
No, they
more
pretty
fun.
good, man. They
You
pretty
love
good.
more-
If you give me a chance to dump some knowledge and stuff on some youngins.
I've always felt, my God, if I had a child, I'd be teaching them from day one. I'm that way. I'd be you know, showing them stuff, getting them learning things. You know,
So one of the things I find out when you bring children in your home, you have to observe what's already either been taught or learned behavior, what's in them all first before you say, hey, I'm gonna do let's watch first,
Right.
see what's going on, and then you'll know what pockets and things need to change. So I'm past that part. So now I'm in the
Isn't that funny?
the
You
teacher.
were in the learning phase.
Yeah, and I had to put myself in that. Because like I said, it's easy. It's like even with adults. I had this conversation with some adults earlier this year. How can you identify what my solution is if you don't know what my issue or my situation? And you don't assess that first and then give me a solution. Most of us jump to solutions first without observing. Just like what you just pretty much explained. In fitness, it's like we would assume, okay, I'm losing weight because of this, but actually I'm just cutting my calories down, so I'm going to lose weight because I'm not eating as much. You know, so.
You know, in the back end of that, losing the muscle lowers metabolism. So dieting makes a person worse than they were before they started the diet.
And I did know that.
Isn't that crazy?
Yep, it is. But the market never explains stuff to you like that.
No, because they're trying to sell their product.
Well, they do. Yeah. I need to get me a product.
Just like whether it's the news or whatever, if I want to sell you on something, I'm going to tell you this part.
Yeah.
And
But
that's
not
the part.
this part.
Not the rest of the story. All right. Good to see
All right,
you guys.
Marco. You
All right,
too.
Marco.
See you,
Take care.
Marco.
Take care.
All right.
Need some water?
Yeah, look, I just, thanks, D.
What?
You ain't getting no raise. Yeah, I wanted him to explain that. Normally, you know, I wouldn't have went that long, but I need him to explain that.
What,
I said, yeah, just the whole, how that works.
with my nursing classes, I knew exactly what I was talking about, and I could throw in, if you don't do aerobic exercises, you're not breathing, and you can get respiratory infection.
Yeah.
I mean, yep, ready?
Facebook, I don't own that. That's Sammy Davis. I have to make sure I say that so don't send me that.
Yeah, okay.
And we're back. For those of you that are listening to Dr. Sam, I am that man. I'll admit it. I am the man they call Dr. Sam, and we just had our nutritional fitness guy, Marco, and I let him go extensively a little bit today because I wanted him to explain that metamorphosis that happened between eating certain foods, he called it dead food, but they are dead, I mean, unless you know, and speeding up your metabolism and all of that to lose fat and all of that. But Marco's always did a great job of that. I just wanted that information out today for everybody because of a discussion that I got into earlier this week with some people about the same thing. So I just wanted him to clear that up for all of us that he's done. And so the topic I got today I wanted to talk about is called Don't Quit. And I'm not necessarily going to make this one of them motivational things. Don't quit. You got to keep going. You got to do it like this. You got to move. You got to jump. I ain't going to do that today. You have to do all of that stuff, but I'm not going to talk about it like that today. But what I'm going to do is encourage you in quitting. But we're going to put some things to this quit thing because in all actuality, there are some things we actually should quit. You know, and quit don't mean give up. Quit just means stop, pivot, change, and move. Because some things that we're involved in and we're doing, we need to quit. Like, for example, if you robbing banks, you might need to quit that. So I can't encourage you to say, you got to keep robbing. You got to keep getting them banks. You got to keep getting that plat. Nah, I'm not going to encourage you to do that. So there are certain things you're going to quit. Maybe you need to quit being so mean. You might want to quit that. Maybe you should stop being, I don't know, stingy. Maybe you want to quit. Nah, wait a minute. Depends on what kind of relatives you got. You might want to keep that. But I'm talking about different things to talk about and don't quit. And I want to give you a kind of scale on this. What particular things should you not quit? And what is not quitting tied to? What is, if I tell you don't quit, what is that actually tied to? Because there are certain things that are tied to not quitting. And I'm going to start off, I might just do 3 of them. I got a list about 15 to 20, but I might do 3. The first thing you should never quit, this is number 1. If you can get a book or something, get Aunt Betsy, tell her you want You got some notes and stuff you want to take. The first thing you should never quit is fulfilling your purpose for the reason that you were born on Earth. And for you people that's born on Mars or Jupiter or Saturn, I haven't been there, so I'm not talking to you. I'm only talking to the people on Earth. For those of you that seen people you claim came from somewhere else outside of Earth, I'm not talking to you either. So the first thing you should do and not quit is ever quit finding out what your purpose is and fulfilling it. That's something you should never, ever quit. You should never quit that. And the reason you should never quit that, because that's part of the reason that you are here and you were born. As long as you are above ground, you're going to always have purpose. And let me tell you, let me extend that a little bit. If you take what your purpose is and you fulfilling it above ground, if you put it on film, if you put it in music, if you make it a literary, you actually can keep fulfilling a purpose while you passed away, while you dead. What you leave behind keep fulfilling your purpose. So when I say don't quit, I'm extending it past the grave. What I'm saying, when you die, you can't physically do anything to don't quit, but your legacy should never be quitting once you're gone. Now, for those of you, again, that's not building a good legacy, I'm not talking to you yet, because I'm going to get to the don't quit, the stuff you should quit. But you should not quit building your legacy to fulfill purpose, so the day that you pass and while you are alive, you're gone for eternity. So say, for example, if I have a book that I wrote, a powerful book that changed lives on whatever level, if I leave that book behind and I pass, then actually my purpose is constantly being fulfilled. It was to help change the world. Or you see a lot of painters that leave artwork behind and they're long gone, like Picasso, but you still hear people talking about him after all of these years. Like the painting of Mona Lisa, you keep talking about people still talking about it after all these years. They're trying to find out why she had the half smile or why she had a snicker. I mean, she could have seen something funny and she could have been sneezing. They've been trying to figure this out for 100 years. I think they just been talking about it because they ain't got too much else to do on certain subject, they run out of stuff to talk about. But number one, you should be fulfilling your purpose. You should never quit that. And your purpose and your legacy is going to determine. Thanks, Reverend D. Look at y'all, that's Reverend D right there. Fulfilling your purpose is something you should never quit. Number two, you should never quit developing to be a better person. You should never quit that. You should never quit that. You should never quit trying to become better, putting yourself in a better position, putting yourself with better people, opening up for betterment on all levels. You should never quit becoming better. But some people might say, well, Sam, what's being better? What exactly does that look like? What if I'm starving to death and I rob a grocery store and it helps feed my family? Is that being better? So I need to define that. Better is this, and this is just all my personal opinion. You're getting better when you can work in the system to help accommodate your wants and needs and other people's wants and needs and who you're supposed to run into or help fulfill. I'm going to say that again. One of the things is helping accommodate people becoming better when within the system, you're getting better, you helping accommodate your wants and needs and other people's. And then on the second, on 1A, or 2B, the other thing is when you have situations, circumstances that work outside the system in your favor to help not only you, but to help other people. Now, I'm not talking about the robbing bank thing. I'm talking about when certain things happen. Say somebody leave you an inheritance of some money, and you use that to better your life and to help other people. That's what I'm talking about, that you should never quit helping yourself and other people move forward. And I'm not talking about anybody. I'm talking about the people that you assign through your life. And let me tell you this, when you're going through life, it'll be certain people and things that you will know, you will feel, and you will see, I'm supposed to help them, or they supposed to help me, but some type of way we supposed to be involved on some level, whether it's business or relationship, encouragement, mentorship, or something. I'm supposed to be involved with those persons. Because here's one of the problems we do when I'll mention that we should quit. We should quit being involved in helping people that's not trying to help themselves. We should quit trying to help people, they're not willing to help themselves because it's a waste of energy and a lot of time. And let me tell you something, until somebody wants to help themselves, you're not going to be that beacon of light. The best thing you can do, actually, is just be an example for them from a distance. That's really the best thing you can help them with. Number 3, another thing you should not quit is you should not quit being you. You shouldn't quit that unless it's not getting you right now. If being you is not getting, I know, let me back up a little bit because I got to dig in this a little bit. Now I know one of the greatest cliche lines is I'ma just be me. And that's good. That's good. More power to you. But what if just being you the way you are don't work? What if you might have to critique it a little bit? What if you might have to change a little bit? What if you might have to exercise a little bit? What if you have to move it out of this environment to get what you really want? Because let me tell y'all something. A lot of people that's out here doing wrong or making bad decisions, they're not doing this on purpose. They're just not homed in on what is their purpose, who they are, and what they want to do. A lot of people are not doing this on purpose. So you need to home in on who you are and be that, but be the best you, not just you. You can't be just you. You got to be the best you. Because if you want the real results you're trying to get through in your life, whether short term or long term, mid-term or long term, you're going to have to be the best of you. Because I said this yesterday in a conversation with a couple of people throughout the day. Nobody has to accept you for who you are. They don't have to. We're not required. This is like nobody's required to listen to me on radio or television or not. I'm not required to do the same. We're not required of anything. But I tell you what, you become the best you. You make the right decision. You keep on your path. You're gonna have more influence than distractors. You're gonna be having a lot of influence because being the best of you, the world needs that. You know that actually the world needs you. Did you know that? Don't quit. I'm going to add a number 4, a couple more. Don't quit because the world needs you. We need what you have. We need what you got. We need what you're going to be. We need how you think, how you walk, how you talk. The world needs you. And even that's all good and dandy, but what you got to don't ever quit is becoming the best you. That's different than development. Becoming the best you means going through some trials and tribulations and then using those as opportunities, whether it's failure, especially failures, using those as opportunity, using victory as an opportunity, using everything that you go through as an opportunity. And remember to put yourself out there the way you need to be, and whoever sticks, that's who with you, that's who's going with you, that's who you're supposed to influence. Those are the people that you're responsible for in a way. And those are the people and the environment, the situations that you want to grow from. You want people to understand that you have something to give the world. And believe me, when you give it the right way, they're going to receive it. They're going to take it in. They're going to drop what they're doing sometimes to pivot to get where you at. So you should never stop quitting growing. You should never stop quitting being you. You should never stop quitting taking advantage of opportunities that's in your favor to help other people. You should never stop or never quit fulfilling your purpose and finding out why you really here. And one of the things, I'm going to do this number 5, and then I'm going to go to what things you should quit. One thing you should never quit is staying focused, staying on track. You should never quit that. You should never quit. Don't ever quit being focused and on track. Because just like getting a college degree, whether you go through high school, if you do it long enough and you do it right and you get the grades, eventually you're going to get that diploma. Eventually you're going to get that degree. It's going to come regardless because you're fulfilling the platform and the things involved in it to fulfill what it costs to get a degree. Anybody been to college? When you pick a major, they have syllabus of these classes. Tell you what class you got to take, when, where, and why, what time. They don't ask you what time you want to take it. They just give you choices. If you go through those classes and you fulfill that, what they have to do, you're going to get that degree. And then here's the best part about it, like living your own life. Once you get the degree, nobody can take it away from you because it's all the information is in your head. And they can't take it open. I mean, I can't take it out. My bad. Can't take it out, you know. And probably some of y'all here, you probably need something there because it might be a little empty right now. But you know, I don't know that. I'm just saying. So you should do that. Always fulfill and focus and finish what you started. But you gotta take criticism. You gotta be open for direction. You gotta be open to move forward. And remember this: if you keep going and you on the right track with what you're supposed to be doing, you're gonna get to that degree. You're gonna get to that diploma. You're gonna get to that great business. You're gonna get to that revenue. You're gonna get to everything. So let me talk about things well, hold on a minute. Ron, let me take a quick 2-minute commercial. Let me get so I can get a sip of water. Then when we come back, I'm gonna talk about the things you should quit. Some of y'all way overdue, just like on your library book. Take that library book back. You overdue. And things you should quit. We'll be right back. This is the Dr. Sam Show.
Millette is enriching people's lives one at a time. Dr. Sam guides you on life,
Woo.
relationships, finances, spirituality, and more. Every Sunday from 11 to 1 here on 100.7. Brought to you by McDonald's
2 minutes?
and Little Generation Day
Or 1
Care,
minute?
located at 700
Just one?
Eleanor
All right.
Avenue. Dr. Sam Millette is enriching people's lives one at a time. Dr. Sam
Thanks,
is ready
D.
to help you gain perspective on life,
Look at
relationships,
the Lord.
finances,
Look at the Lord.
spirituality, and much more. Tune in 100.7 every Sunday from 11 to 1. Brought to you by McDonald's, empowering purpose for life.
Dr. Sam
So where's the
Millette
waters
is
at?
enriching people's lives one at
I
a
found
time.
one in the
Dr. Sam is
refrigerator.
ready to help you
Oh,
gain
okay.
perspective
There's some
on
on the,
relationships,
He
finances,
said I found it.
Somebody got some on the desk, but they were
Go to
warm.
the Dr.
So
Sam Show
I got a case of
US.
them.
Brought to you
You
by
put that one in the
McDonald's.
refrigerator.
Yeah, I put that in the refrigerator. I got that one back.
Are you saving for your purchase or just trying to
Hey.
You the man, D.
Yeah.
You got my vote for man of the year.
part of your budget?
You got my
The
vote.
National Foundation for Credit
We
Counseling offers
want
the following
thee.
tips to help
We
you
want
meet your
thee.
Yeah, but then there's I just realized that the Bombers Halloween Bash, there's like maybe a quarter case of water in the back end of the journey.
You know you can reach.
Yeah,
Bank any raises,
Well,
bonuses,
they
or
probably
just-
less than that because Grizzly and I were sucking on those last night.
they just leave stuff in there and forget about it.
Yeah.
They be in there for
Put
like
it into your savings
decades.
account.
Oh, yeah.
Empty your pockets of loose change every night.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how the
I found
up to
somebody
$90
left
over
their
a year.
flash
For more
drive
tips
in
on
there.
how to save
Yeah.
more of your money,
I'm
reach
going,
your
okay, well, let's
financial
see.
goals,
I
contact a
pulled it
certified
out.
counselor, and call the
I want to
NSC
find out whose it
today
is so I can
at
stick it in their
1-800-388-2227
mailbox. Because it was sitting underneath the driver's seat. I'm going, okay.
This has been a public service message from
Look,
the National
whose
Foundation
is
for
this?
Credit
And it's,
Counseling.
the only downside is it's like a 8 gig flash drive, so not much space.
right.
Don't go to bed.
Don't go to bed with a price on your head. I talked to my media people over here, some of these friends.
Ready?
Yep. And we're back. This is your man, Dr. Sam. We talking about don't quit. Today's Dr. Sam Show is brought to you, I should tell you, by Little Generation Day Care, raising the young, brilliant minds of tomorrow. It's located at 700 Illinois Street, Toledo, Ohio, 43612. Toledo, Ohio, of course. The phone number is 419-724-7920. And also by McDonald's. Go support your local McDonald's. Toledo Free News, TLC Design, and Sam Bishon 2020 Max Life. You know, we thank for our partners and sponsoring the Dr. Sam Show. Also, for you to become a partner of Dr. Sam, the Dr. Sam Show, which you should, if you knew what's good for you, you could just call us at 419-972-1SAM. I got a bunch of packages for you, man, that fit what you're doing. Basically, we fit our packages around your needs. That's pretty much what I do. But we got great packages for all budgets to be a part of this show and all the media that we're doing. And me personally, I think it's a great package because we really do believe in over-delivering and customizing our package around your needs. So partner with us. The number again is 419-972-1SAM. So I'm going to go right quick and talk about what you should quit. And number one, you should quit bad habits, because bad habits are not good to have. Because when you have bad habits, man, they take you down. I'm included in that too. You know, I can't eat 2 pizzas at a time. No, I don't do that no more. You can't have bad habits. That's something you should quit, change, pivot, and change. Is having bad habits. Something you should quit. Number 2, you should quit making bad decisions. Use wisdom or get somebody that has it that help you make decisions. You should quit making bad decisions and quit making decisions based off your emotions, but use emotions to endorse your objective decision. I'm going to say that again. Don't ever use your emotions to make decisions. Use emotions to help endorse your objective decision. So when you make decisions, you should make them by being objective or talking to somebody who can be objective. And then when you find out this is what you decide to do, take that emotional energy and passion and endorse that and push it. You know, a lot of us got it way else around. First, we make decisions on our emotion. Then after something don't happen right or happen bad, then we want to get objective with it. No, it don't kind of work like that. So things you should quit is making decisions with your emotions. Another thing you should quit is quit being everybody's doormat. Quit letting people walk over you that don't deserve hardly to breathe the air that you're breathing. Quit being a doormat. And what I'm saying is you don't have to be mean. You don't have to snarl. You don't have to swing on with a baseball bat to get out of my face. What I'm basically saying is people will respect those who make them respect them. See, now y'all thought I was about to say people will respect you if you respect yourself. No, people will respect you when you make them respect. They will respect you if you make them respect you. So you have to respect yourself. But even if you respect yourself, most of the time people can still disrespect you. What you have to do is make people respect you. And that means holding yourself up, your life decisions up to a higher level. You want to do things, because I see a lot of people that's really a doormat for folks, and being a doormat don't mean that people look at you with respect. What it means is they don't look at you with respect at all. So basically, I'm just saying, I don't want to complicate it. Don't let nobody walk over you. Quit doing that. Stop and quit that. Quit letting people walk over you, especially for most people that don't even deserve to breathe the air that you breathe. And you know who you talking about, Aunt Brenda. What am I on? Number 3? Is 4? 3? 4? Whichever one. 3. We pick 3. Yeah, we pick 3. Pick 3. Stop doing stupid stuff. Quit the stupid stuff. Now, for those of you who don't know what stupid means exactly what you think it is right now when you heard me say that. That's stupid. That's what stupid means. Doing stuff that don't make sense and don't necessarily benefit you or the people around you. It's stuff that's not necessary. You know, I see people get in arguments and conversations with people that's just not necessary. And some of it just plain stupid because you causing things, you bring chaos in your life when you don't have to. So stop doing stupid stuff. Just quit that. You ain't got time for that. And I'm talking about that's all of us in general. We don't have time for that, to do that. So just stop doing stuff that's stupid. Stop doing stuff that don't benefit where you going, what you trying to do, and all that good stuff. That should be fully charged there. And so stop doing stupid stuff. And build yourself up. Build yourself up. Stop doing stupid stuff, because as long as you're doing stupid stuff, you can't build yourself up. So that's something you need to quit. You need to quit. You need to pivot. You need to change. You need to move. You need to change. You need to pivot. You need to move. You need to pivot. You need to change. You need to move. I thought I covered them both ways. So one thing you should stop doing is wasting your time. I don't know about a lot of you. I'm a big fan of Shark Tank. And one of the things that Mark Cuban always say, like 80% of the time if it comes up, is he values his time. He don't like to waste time. His time is very valuable. So I'm saying the same thing Mark Cuban said about himself. Stop wasting your time. And consider your time valuable. Don't quit. Stop and quit wasting time with things, situations, business stuff, people that do not fit where you're trying to go. Just stop wasting your time. If you stop wasting your time, just stop wasting time. If we could keep a track of how much time we done wasted in our life on situations, people, circumstances, and decisions, man, we probably could add, if we just document, that's probably another 25 years added to our life. It's just that alone. And that's talking about since you was 20 and up. You know, a lot of stuff you did under 20 is pretty much dumb anyway. But don't waste your time. Stop wasting your time with things and people and situations and opportunities that don't fit where you're going. Now I'm going to give you one more. Stop, and definitely stop this one. Stop trying to please people. Now, I'm not saying when you got a client and stuff, you ain't supposed to make them happy. I ain't talking about that. But when you're trying to please people, what you're basically trying to do is get their validation on your own existence or your own purpose or your own life. You stop trying to please people because people can't, you don't need people's validation. We need people's acceptance. We need people's love. We need people's understanding. But we don't need people to validate us for us to feel like we are important. We even need, if you're a man, you need some appreciation, affirmation, and some acknowledgement. We need that, the AAA. If you're a woman, you need some appreciation, some attention, and affection. They need that. But stop trying to please people. Don't do that. Stop, pivot, change, and move forward. Because I'm telling you, that's an awful rut to be in and feel like you need to please people. That is horrible because you're never going to do that. You're never going to do that. You're never going to do that. Because, look, you could please, they say, hey, can you give me a cheeseburger? They like, hey, here's a cheeseburger. It's Tuesday. Like Wimpy on Popeye say, I'll pay you today if you can give me a hamburger. I'll get a hamburger on Tuesday, something like that. I remember that on Popeye Sailor Man, for those of y'all watch that. Wimpy, the dude that eat hamburgers, he always say, I'll pay you back on Tuesdays. I don't know if it was Tuesday. I don't know if Wimpy had a part-time job or he was a salesman at the Sizzle. I don't know what Wimpy was doing. But stop trying to please people because you will never be able to please them. Never, 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 never. Ryan, I want to take a quick commercial break and come back. When we come back, I'm going to do Dr. Sam's Secret Garden Tip of the Week, and I'll make an announcement about what we got next week, and then we out of here. This is the Dr. Sam Show. We'll be right back.
Dr. Sam Millett is enriching people's lives one at a time. Dr. Sam guides you on life, relationships, finances, spirituality, and more. Every Sunday from 11 to 1 here on 100.7. Brought to you by McDonald's and Little Generation Daycare, located at 700 Eleanor Avenue.
Yeah, because we're running close.
To,
I don't know if you want to do it 1 minute because we got to cut out at 57:25 to play your disclaimer.
You can come in now. After that,
I can kill the 1 minute spot. Just
okay.
After give me 15 seconds.
Okay, that's cool.
Ready to help you gain perspective on
What you need at 50? You need me at 57, right?
57:25.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll bring up your music bed.
Okay, that's cool. And we're back. Don't go to bed with no price on your head. Well, I want to appreciate everybody for listening to the show. We've been talking about Don't Quit. And before we get out of here, I'm going to give you my Dr. Sam's Secret Garden Tip of the Week. Then I'm going to tell you about a couple of announcements for next week. And then we're going to roll out of here. Pretty much is what I said. Don't quit, man. Don't quit. This is my motivational part here about the don't quit. Don't quit what you're doing if it's doing the way it needs to be done. Don't quit. Stay consistent. Stay fasted, stay aggressive, stay progressive, and get done what needs to be get done. You don't quit, man. Don't quit. If you got something big in mind, you got some goals in life you want to obtain, you want to do, the only way you're ever going to reach them is don't quit. So that's my secret guard tip of the day for you, is the title of our show. Don't quit. You got to keep it moving. Well, I want to thank our guest today, Miss Fernell Williams, for her God, Chosen by God. Her book, you can get it on Amazon.com, Chosen by God by Fernell Williams. I'll be announcing the next week, too, in her event she got coming up in 2 weeks called It's Not Just a Book Signing. I'll give you the date and times and all that stuff next week again. And also, I want to thank Marco for giving an extensive in-depth detail about speeding up metabolism. I wanted him to do that because I was talking about it today, and I wanted to make sure we got our information right. Also, today's show, I want to thank you, sponsored by Little Generation Daycare, McDonald's, TLC Design, Toledo Free News, and Sambition 2020 Max Life coming up next year. And also say to become a partner with the great Dr. Sam Show. All you got to do is dial that number 419-9721-SAM. We got great packages for you. And what we do with our packages, the Dr. Sam Show, we customize them to your need. It don't make sense to sell something that ain't got needs. That's why McDonald's has choices on the menu. You might want a chicken sandwich, you might want a Big Mac. You got to make your decision up. So we have great packages for companies that want to engage and be partnered with Dr. Sam Show. I don't see why you wouldn't. Because I'm Dr. Sam. Yeah, I said it. I want to thank my engineer, Supernair in the building, Mr. Ron, Mr. D Ladies on Tech. I'm going to have to get Ron in on the lady thing too, D. You can't be stingy. Ron want to be in on that. Mr. D on Tech and myself, I want to thank all my team, Dr. Sam Show. I even want to thank Cumulus today. And thank my man Jason for getting it already in the engineering room. We got to give Jason some shout outs. Well, I want you to remember this. I'm doing a little early, Ron, so we have more than enough time. Is that always remember to tell somebody you love them because you never know when you may see them again. I love you. This is Dr. Sam Show. Oh, we got Miss Ramona Collins next week. That's going to be a great show. And I'm going to be talking about, is it consequences or fate? Man, wait till we have that conversation. That's next week on the Dr. Sam Show. Check you out later. I love you. Peace, love, and soul. I gotta do my own hand clap. Come on, man. Thank you, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, and Vimo. Is this pronounced Vimo?
Vimo.
Yeah, Vimo. That sounds like my cousin from back in the day. That's Curtis Mayfield and the Impressions, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, that's almost exact. Awesome.
Yep, that's why I did that. I got you.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. No more tears in his eyes. Moving on. I'm hungry for some reason. My stomach is speaking in tongues.